Is up, Mav fans? Hope your vibes are immaculate tonight. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown, updating you on everything Dallas Mavericks and other NBA news. That's at Mavs_Rundown on Twitter. I appreciate you for listening. I'm your host, AG, and on today's pod, man, we have a special guest. Christian Torres is here. What's up, Christian?
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you for coming on. And unfortunately, he visits us on after tonight's recap on tonight's rundown. I'm sorry. The Thunder beat the Mavs 120-114. And it was just kind of a shit show for the Mavs of what we kind of seen all year. And before I say anything else, Christian, what are your thoughts on this game? What did you see, man, my man?
Well, as a casual enjoyer of the Mavericks basketball team, it was rough to watch, man. They had some really good moments. Big shots by Luka, big shots by Bullock. But man, it just I believe in the pregame show they mentioned now the Mavs just weren't. They were last as a clutch basketball team, and they showed that today.
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, and they sure did because this game went into overtime, y'all, and but without even, I mean, of course, you know the ending, but just saying that this game against the Oklahoma City Thunder went to overtime should tell you all what you need to know about this basketball game. This is a game that even without Porzingis, I know we're missing Hardaway and Sterling Brown too, but I feel like even without those guys, we should have enough on this squad to take these guys out. And just the fact that it went to overtime just shows it's what we've been seeing all year with these Mavs, where it's just we just don't have we expect Luka to just carry us to victory all these times, and we just don't have enough talent around him to help him out. Guys, some guys hit some big shots like you said, but yeah, we just not enough people around to really make these plays. And like you said, Lou Dort, man, hold on, I'm pulling this up. Lou Dort, and especially in overtime, like you said, he was great. In overtime, he was fantastic. He had a three in Luka's face, and then he had a drive, a tough layup, but it was like a tough drive, physical on Luka and Dorian Finney-Smith, and then there at the end hits another three in Dodo's face. And what did he finish? I had the box score right here. He finished with 30 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, man. 6 of 10 from 3. Just a great game by him. So great game by him. And I almost want to say Terrence, man. That's not
Trey Man lit us up, dude.
Yeah, Trey Man was the man tonight for them.
Yep.
14, 6 of 8 from 3. We had 29 points. I think that's his career high. It has to be.
I believe it is. I think I wrote that down. Yeah.
Yeah. And what else did you see in this one, Christian? Talk about it off air, and I know you want to bring these points up. Go ahead. What else did you see?
Man. I know this is a Mavericks podcast, but you gotta talk about this kid Giddy, dude. Like he's good.
Oh,
he played a good ass game.
Rookie.
The rookie. Yep.
Yeah, he's a ball.
Is Trey Man also a rookie?
I think.
See, and that's something I should have looked up. But either way, he's
a rookie. He was 20. He was the first. He's number 18. He was their 18th overall pick this past year.
Yeah, and that's wild. Like the fact that they're getting these kinds of games out of their rookies. They may not be good. Go ahead.
Josh Giddy, he was their 6th pick, and then they had a first rounder, which they turned into Trey Man. So that it seems like they had a great draft.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, we had some moments, a couple big threes late in the game to get us back in it. But man, one thing I noticed, we weren't on the boards, man. That was a huge thing. Our guys didn't want to get rebounds, and in
Please
the
tell the people. Please tell the people. You texted me that stat, dude, and I was like, holy fucking shit, that is a great fucking stat. Yo, the rebound, this one stat he's about to tell you will tell you everything you need to know about the rebounding. Go ahead.
Yeah, so our first rebound for the Mavericks came at the 6 minutes into the first quarter. And it's not like that was their
Wow.
first possession or anything. Like that was, there were several possessions in between to get defensive or offensive rebounds. And then 6 minutes into the first quarter, that's a while, man. That's
Yeah,
you
it
gotta do
showed.
better.
That's something I wrote down in my notes too. The inside presence on both sides, especially the rebound, was lacking. Just just the inside presence overall. Like you said, the rebounds weren't good. We had finished with 39 rebounds to their 50, so
Yeah,
that's not good. And then we
that's
just,
bad.
but being a Mavericks fan, it's kind of a little bit I mean, not you know that shocking because it's Dwight Powell, 6'9", pushing 6'10", and you got Kleba down there. He got the most rebounds, 8 rebounds, tied with Reggie Bullock,
Yeah.
and Kleba 6'10". So I mean, you're not getting much when your tallest guys are that that tall. We need legit 7-footers out there, which that's one of the things KP brings us. But I mean, even as like a backup, it really just shows just to have somebody else out there to help alter some of these shots because they were getting to the rim at ease, it seemed, at some points during this game. Man, they were just driving on us, and I mean, give credit to them. There were some good drives, but if we just had like that, just a one good like solid center in the middle to like alter some of these shots or block some of these shots, then it's a little bit different ball game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and with that, going off of the rebounds issue, I mentioned this to you before. Um, we it seems it was funny. It was a possession that it seemed like nobody went up for the rebound. But as soon as OKC, I don't remember who it was. As soon as OKC came down with the rebound, it seemed like everyone was reaching for the ball. Like as soon as he came down with it, it was almost like they prioritized the steals over the rebounds, and it's like we ended up with 12 steals in this game, which I think is just great. But
But it kind
again, it's like,
of like as laziness because it's like, oh, we didn't go enough for the thing, but on the come down, we're gonna swipe at you there.
right,
And
right.
they,
So it almost seemed, at least in that possession, it seemed to me like they're being coached that way. Like maybe if you're not going to go for the rebound, at least swipe at it when he comes down with it. Which you
honestly,
know,
I was gonna say honestly tonight they just seem more aggressive, and like the more assertive team tonight. Like throughout
yeah,
this whole game, like it just seemed like they came to play. They played with like house money, and they
hmm
were just here. We're like, shit, it didn't matter. We might get blown, but fuck it, man. We're gonna play like there's no tomorrow, and
yeah,
that's what it seemed. They flourished under that type of mentality.
yeah, for sure, for sure. You definitely see that on the court, the intensity that they were playing with versus what we had a lot of the times. So
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and there's a reoccurring theme here with Dallas and their offense. And what was the one thing you told me about their offense?
Um, Remind me again what we're talking about here.
About on their offense, about what they do mainly whenever
Oh,
has the
yeah,
ball.
yeah. So obviously, the team runs through Luca, but every time he has the ball, it just seems like nobody's moving around to try to get anybody else open. Just as when he has the ball, it's like all eyes are on him. Like you gonna make the basket or not? And
Mm-hmm.
again, the issue with the rebounds comes back to that. If he doesn't make it, then that's just nobody's going for the rebound, so it's their ball.
Ding 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 ding. Yep,
You know?
that's been kind of like the reoccurring theme, man. It's like Luca. It's so Luca heavy, or so ISO Luca heavy. It's crazy because if you're gonna do that, you're gonna play that way. At least like set some fucking back screens, some flare screens for that other guy, just so that everybody's just not standing around. Like I don't know if everyone's played defense before, but it's really easy when your guy's just standing there. So I
Yep.
don't know why they're doing that. Like, and it's not like this is the first time. Like Luka's been playing for years. Even if J Kidd and them weren't here, it's still like, damn. Like, can these guys like go set a down screen? It's I should have remembered what part it was, but it was funny because it was like you could see some movement. I forgot who. I think it was Jalen Brunson. When like it was like he was trying to do something off ball, maybe go set it down. But the other guy just wasn't.
Yeah.
Nah, or get paying him no money. Like, nah, you just stay there. I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
here. Like, no, nah, man, we gotta have some cuts to move. And that's why all these like great offenses, at least during the regular season, or you look at any of the great offenses around the league. They all have great movement. Everybody's moving and cutting and setting screens for each other and stuff. And it just seems like Mavericks are so ISO dependent on Luka, or when he's out, then it's like a 1-2 with Jalen Brunson. Okay,
Yep.
you're Jalen, you try, and he just goes ISO and can break down the defender, or goes pick and roll and breaks down that defender, and then everybody else is still just stuck standing there, and it's just like
Yeah.
so frustrating as a Maverick fan. Just like, dude, go fucking set a screen, like move around. Like when Luka's like driving, all of a sudden they collapse. Like someone, like make a cut, like move, like go, like something. Like just do something.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to that, to Brunson, whenever Luka was out, there was a play in the third quarter, like a minute left, a little over a minute left. He had the ball and it looked like he was trying to signal for somebody to set a screen or something, and you can see they didn't do it, and he got frustrated. Like you saw his visible frustration. Like
Mm-hmm.
he jumped up and shit, and he was like it wasn't, like he was expecting something to happen, and it didn't happen because everyone was just sitting still. It's like
Yep.
they thought that Luka was still on the court. Like he was gonna do Luka things. They were all just looking at him, and it's like,
Yeah.
when your players start to see it, it's like, gotta do something about that. I feel like that's coaching. I feel like that's coaching, man. Like I understand, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what. Well, I guess I don't understand what their offense might be if it's not that ISO ball, but you know, they gotta come up with
It
something.
has to fall on coaching because I
Yeah.
mean, who else is telling them to just stand there? Like, I'm
Right.
sure, like, especially at this point in the season, 40, over 40 games in, like, you would think the coach would be like, "Yo, why the fuck are y'all just standing there?" And they would start
Mhm.
moving, but they're not. So it's obviously, yeah, I think it has to fall on coaching, like, just the way their offense is set up, and then but then that also goes to another point too, where it's like, I don't know, like Luka might do this type of stuff too because he just doesn't trust these other guys to make a play. So he knows the best chance of them, making a bucket or making a play is through him. So he
Yeah.
keeps, tries to force and play, not, hit a home run pass or make the home run play every single time. And it's just like we know that we can't win, championships like that. It's got to be a team effort,
Yep.
and that's what
Exactly.
we're missing big time. And I mean that goes into another thing. I mean, if there was, it just goes back into what Maverick fans want. We just want to see more talent, more. Luka was surrounded with more guys that can help him out. Like in these type of games, yeah, we're missing KP. That's supposed to be our technically second best player. To me, he's our third best player, but getting paid, second or top player money. But he's
Yeah.
really like our third, maybe our second. Sometimes every once in a while, I could play as the first. Play really big and be that big time scorer. But but without him, and then without our off the bench kind of microwave guy and Tim Hardaway, it's like, where's this offense gonna come from? And you look at Jalen Brunson. He went 10 of 18 tonight, 20 points. He had 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So I mean, like a good stack, 2 steals.
Yep.
Oh, 6 turnovers. That's bad. That was not good. And yeah, he kind of, that's what I was gonna end up saying. Like he had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but in nights like this where we're missing like our top guys, we need him to go for more than 20. Like he's got to be at least 25 to 30. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
And that just goes to show, like, that's not a knock on him. He's still a great player. I mean, a good player for us. He was still ended up being a +3 in the plus minus. Those turnovers were bad, and that goes to show, like, whenever he plays length, whenever he has some size, or someone puts a little bit of length on him and some good athletic length, he kind of struggles. And he hit a couple big shots down the stretch here, but just wasn't a big enough factor, especially like at the really end of the game. You're expecting, instead of Luka, who's going to make a play, you maybe Jalen Brunson, but that didn't happen. And then all these other players just aren't, they're just not good enough to make, the plays that we need. Good role players like Dodo and Mac stuff, but they're just not good enough to create the shot that we need, or to create the shot and make the shot. And it really showed tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. I guess the bright spot here is still, defense. I think they really hustled on defense, which is, that's one upside that we can look at here. Was it Dwight Powell had a couple good blocks in there?
Defense,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, well, they go to overtime. We gave 120, and then they, because it's like when you watch it, we both agreed it was like they were playing good defense.
it was a lot of hustle. Like that's something that
That's
I saw.
really what it is. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of good hustle. It just didn't work out in their favor, because they split
Right.
with a 45% from three tonight, which is really good. Almost, when you're out there
Yeah.
and you get up a 50 from three, it's hard to beat a team like that.
Yeah.
But we did talk about it. Yeah, we did see those. They were out there hustling, like they were moving around the ball was moving, so they were moving too. They were moving on a string around, putting a hand up on people. But
Right.
then,
Yeah.
as we mentioned before, the inside presence, once they got to the lane, they could, as long as they finish over these guys. They're professional players. Like 6'9", 6'10" isn't really much on, against these guys. They're already, big enough as it is. Like, that's why, some size down low would have helped with, like, Porzingis, or I don't know, something like that. And just another good, really good, solid backup center, someone just tall that could just help alter shots.
Yeah.
And if not,
Yeah.
it goes to, I'm just like, I feel like I'm just talking about trade offers. Well, we should get like a center that we could, but I mean,
Well, on
that's
that,
what
I
this
mean,
needs. It shows every game. It's like we talk. It's like, these same problems.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, on that note, have we're getting closer to the trade deadline. You heard anything else? Anything new that you like
No, but
out
there
there?
is something I did want to add on here,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
what did you think? Okay, so Mavs actually want to keep Jalen and Dorian Finney-Smith.
Uh-huh.
And like they've said, like, no, we want to, like, keep them, and not just keep them, for next year. Like, they want to extend them, and keep them.
Oh, multiple years.
Yeah, yeah, basically resign both to this summer, because they have expiring contracts after this year.
Right.
But what that means is, if they sign both, they can't just outright sign both, because I think Dodo's gonna want more. I don't know if he'll take one of them, or they're talking take, like, one of them will take a little bit less cash, so the other one can stay or whatever. But if they outright sign them to even what they could want or could get, that means the Mavs are gonna have to offload some of these other contracts, like
Yeah.
Tim Hardaway Jr., for example, who's hurt. So that's kind of like a hard contract now to trade away. It is that kind of favorable contract, because it actually descends in money. Like, it goes down from, like, I think, I forgot what it was this year, but it's like 15, then it goes 14, then 13 down each
Yeah.
year. That's what the favorite has in in the contract for him. And then you have to move someone like Dwight Powell, making $10-11 million. And then Maxey is another guy we'd probably have to move with his money to keep everybody else. So it's like our combination of those three guys, like, they're gonna have to move. And that, I don't know if they're gonna make them. Do you think maybe they'll make a move at this deadline? What is your
I mean, you'd hope so,
guesstimate?
right? I don't know what, uh, okay, Dwight Powell was in our starting lineup today. and he ended up playing 12 minutes. You know, that's telling me they don't. I mean, they don't really trust him to be in that lineup for too
Which
long.
yeah, no, it's which is true and good of the Mavericks because it's true when he plays over, I'd say like 18 minutes. When he plays
Mhm.
over 18 to 20 minutes, he's not so good. That's not good. We'll have to depend on him to be our backup.
Right. So as you know, we clearly, like you've been saying, we need a center, and that's a move that I feel like they need to make if they want to get far into the playoffs. You know. Um, but yeah, then
Yeah, part of
you
me
saying
is
that they gotta or they want to re-sign Dorian Finney-Smith and Jalen Brunson.
hmm
That's I mean, I think as Mavericks fans we like them.
yeah,
They're like fan favorites, but yeah, I don't think you go far with both of them in there.
right. Because if you keep both,
So,
that like solidifies your core right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be tying up a lot of money.
Yeah, like we would have to give up one. Which one would you rather give up if you had to give up one?
Oh, I would say, I don't know, man. That's tough because Jalen Brunson obviously gets the second team going.
Yeah,
Um, with the way he plays, I guess Luka-esque type ball.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I'd probably stay with Jalen Brunson, but I
yeah.
know how important length is in the league, so it's a tough pick for
Yeah,
sure.
it seems like the Mavs right now. They're saying they want to keep both, but I know if they had to choose between one, they'd keep Jalen and then have to part ways with Dodo because you definitely
Yeah.
don't want both to walk. So if they're saying they don't want both to walk and they're gonna pay them, they're gonna have to trade some of these other guys either now or I guess at the off season. Which this is my thinking. I think what they're planning because the whole Goran Dragic situation, they're waiting to maybe he'll get a buyout. And I think they're just expecting him to get a buyout, maybe come here. So that'll give us our extra playmaker guy that we need, right?
Yeah.
But and they'll go out, maybe make like a minor tweak trade at the deal. Maybe, hopefully, this is what I'm hoping they're thinking. This is, all good. Everything goes right. That they're hoping Goran comes, and then maybe they can make like a minor move for a backup, really good backup center, like a defensive, kind of center that can help us.
hmm
And maybe that just those two moves right there would work because we can get rid of that. But I really hope we would, get rid of some of this money and maybe use like some of these picks and Josh Green or something, go after another playmaker because it just seems like we're out there watching. It's like Jalen, as we said, he makes the plays, but it's just not enough and not enough, scoring punch. He can only do so much. He does a great job. He finishes at the paint, better than a lot of centers too. But I mean, he's only 6'1", and at the end of the day, if he ain't, Allen Iverson, then we're gonna need some more, big men, or
Yeah.
some length or some wing guys that can actually do some things like a Eric Gordon or I don't, just names, just there's a whole bunch of different names out there, but just somebody just to come in and just help play make, which like I said, if they're just waiting, if they think they'll get going at some point, they might just be waiting to get him to add him to the squad, and that fills that role perfectly right there. And then like you said, we definitely need another backup center and to move on from some of these guys that seems like they spent too much time on this team. And their time to go. Time for some new scenery, some fresh legs in here. Hopefully preferably a 7-footer that can block some shots for us.
Hell yeah. Yep.
But yeah, man. So this game right here, this loss takes the Mavericks down to 29-23. Still in that 6th seed. Right behind the Nuggets, who overtook us a couple games ago, but they're 28-22. Are they playing tonight? Are they playing right now? They are playing right now. Right now, they are down by 3 to Utah. So hopefully Utah can maybe. Oh, those are both the teams right ahead of us. Damn, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's literally both the teams in front of us. So I don't know. We're still in battle with this 4, 5, 6 seed. Everybody's within like a game or 2 games of each other. So we're fighting that out. Mavericks lose tonight, 120-114 in overtime. They play again here coming up on Friday against Philly. It's an ESPN game, 9 o'clock start time. Hopefully, we will have Porzingis back. That would be big if we can get Porzingis back this Friday, because we're definitely going to need somebody big to go against Joel Embiid and especially in their backup center, Andre Drummond. So hopefully that comes out. But yeah, any ending thoughts there, Christian, before we head out?
Um, no, man. I think you said it all. I do just want to point out that there's some weird texts in overtime that the announcers mentioned it a lot that they like to let them play in overtime, but there was a couple of weird texts that I saw there late in overtime. It was just
Oh yeah, that weird little like double tech.
yeah, yeah, the
Talking with
double
Luka
take.
and stuff.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
like I feel like Luka's kind of building a little rivalry with the refs. It's might not be the best thing for us going forward.
Yeah, and see, that's another reason why I think Goran Dragic is like Dallas probably wanted him so bad, because that gives another veteran guy
Yeah,
to him to look up to and be like for somebody he can look up to, and that guy to tell him, hey man, cut that shit out. Like, hey, focus
right.
on the game. Like, don't focus on these motherfuckers. Like, just focus on kicking their ass like on the
Yeah,
court. Like,
yeah,
no, and that's hopefully that's why I think they're probably waiting on him. But hopefully they can even go out since Tim is out. If they're gonna make minor moves, hopefully they can go out and just pick up another guy that can at least give us an extra scoring punch off the bench, along with a center. But yeah,
yeah,
I agree. So I definitely a veteran presence would be great. Somebody that really for Luka to be around and help tell him when to calm down and where to direct that anger and how to use it on the court. I agree.
yeah,
Definitely, great point. Great point.
yeah.
But yeah.
That's it, man. That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, special guest Christian Torres. Thank you, thank you. And I am AG, man. Thanks for listening to the Mavs Rundown. Remember, cool heads prevail, and I'll see you next time.